Hi, everybody. One last mic check. I want to make sure everything goes great. I sound okay, right? Excellent. What a band, right? Are they amazing or what? Okay, just a couple house cleaning things. Remember, I'm sorry, folks, no standing on the silver fence. It really disrupts the view of everybody behind you. Don't shoot the messenger. Black fence is perfectly okay. And if everybody could kind of scoot in a little bit, get to know each other, make us just a little bit more room for the folks that are still trying to find seats, that would be great. Make a friend today. Ceremony's short, it's only an hour. Meet somebody new. If you have a seat next to you vacant, maybe wave your hands and invite a few people up to join you. That would be wonderful. And, of course, you got friends and family at home, to have them tuned to www.turkpride.tv. We are live right now. Thank you, Jill.
if we could stand for the arrival of our seniors. Sultan High School class of 2017, you may be seated. Good evening. I am Scott Sifferman, one of our assistant principals at Sultan High School. On behalf of our superintendent, board of directors, administration, and staff, I'd like to welcome everybody, all of the friends, family, and community members as we celebrate the commencement of the class of 2017. For our friends and family who cannot be here tonight, let them know that tonight's graduation ceremonies are being streamed live by our tech club, powered by TurkPride.tv. Historically, the senior class president is a student who cares for Sultan High School like it's part of their family. This year is no exception. This student literally screams his Turk pride, usually at games. He has been a very supportive person as well. He has been known to cheer enthusiastically for one of our teams playing at home, then drive 30 minutes to another school and cheer for another team there as well. Please welcome the president of the class of 2017, Shane Merwin.
Hello, I'm Johnny Knoxville. Welcome. Oh, sorry about that. Hello, everybody. I'm Senior Class President Shane Merwin, and welcome to the class of 2017's graduation ceremony. Now, before I discuss the unique individuals on both sides of me, I'd like to give a thank you to everyone in the stadium watching. As someone that they are close with, it takes a huge step in their life. You all have helped raise us into who we are today, a class of students with a future so bright that these sunglasses are a necessity. Sultan High School's class of 2017 is known for two things: success and knowing how to have the time of their life. The nights at Riley Weeda's, the time spent in Morgan's barn as he beats us in air hockey, foosball, or pool, the senior trip followed by the senior campout, us all gathering around Jake Posey saying, "Don't cry, man, we'll see you tomorrow." Or the final prom dance of 2017, where me and Mr. Sifferman took the floor in fashion. All of this time we have shared together as a class has helped us grow so close with each other, and I couldn't thank every single one of you enough. Our academic achievements, our play on the sports field after an off-season of hard work, and all of the accolades our band program has acquired can just give you a taste of how dedicated and successful Sultan's class of 2017 really is. This has not, however, gone without rough patches. Our junior year, we lost one of our own. Madison Whidden would have walked the track with us tonight if it wasn't for an unexpected turn of events. She was easy to talk to. Her smile was bright enough to make even the toughest days a bit greater, and she overall knew what it meant to be a good Turk. As we got to our seats after walking the track, we each placed a carnation on the empty seat up front to show that she will always be a part of Sultan's class of 2017. As a class, we have shown we can accomplish anything, get through anything with a smile, and this is moments away from paying off as we all go off onto bigger and better things. To my co-pilot, Jeff, who I just walked that track with after years of talking about it, we've kept it real since 4th grade, man. Not many people can say that they've had the same best friend since elementary school, and these last 8 years have been a riot. To my brother, Mike, who is no longer with us, this one's for you, bro. I told you years ago that I'd run for class president and speak at my graduation, and you responded with, "Well, you better give me a shout out, dude." Here you go. Thank you for everything you ever taught me, Michael. And finally, to the class of 2017, we've made it. 13 years of memories that I hope all of you will have for a lifetime. I know this is the case for me. It's an honor to stand before you all and give this speech. Thank you for giving me the time of my life. I'm Shane Merwin, Senior Class President, and I'm checking out.
Thank you, Shane. Next, we will have our varsity choir perform the national anthem. Please join me and stand and face the east side of the stadium. For the third year in a row, the valedictorian will be the only student to earn a cumulative grade point average of 4.0 after 4 years at Sultan High School. While she has always had one of the top percentages in every one of her classes, it must be noted that she was not the top bowler in her group on Thursday. Chloe, Miranda, and at least 4 other girls dominated her lane in Lake Chelan. Next year, she will be studying marine biology and biology at the University of Washington, Bothell. Please welcome our valedictorian, Marissa Lammers.
Whoever's cutting onions needs to stop. Hi, my name is Marissa Lammers, and welcome to my senior presentation. I wonder how many valedictorians before me have made that joke. To tell you the truth, it's kind of hard to tell between the two. I'm both speaking in front of audiences and slightly terrified. In the senior presentation, it was a small panel, and there's only a couple thousand people here. Well, everyone, we've made it. After 4 years of hard work in the making, we're finally ready to fly off to our new lives, like airplanes in the sky. Speaking of airplanes, you could say that life is a long series of plane rides. During this past years of high school, we've all been making a long, arduous journey to this stage, even though no 2 flights are alike. For some of us, our lives have been filled with good experiences, a sense of community, and just happiness in general. We have had the fortune of smooth sailing in clear, sunny skies. For even more, we have flown through turbulence. We've experienced difficulties in one way or another. And some of us have been dragged out of our seats and pummeled to the point of concussion by life as if we're a certain 69-year-old doctor. In the case of most of us, though, we've experienced all of it. We have known our lows. We have been pushed off course by the winds of difficulty, stress, and even tragedy. No matter who you are, you've most likely been through hard times. Most of us have, to a different degree. Some of us, by unfortunate circumstances, have even been swept so far off course that we can't find the strength to finish our flight so we can reach our destinations. We want to give up, to land the plane sooner, or even to not safely land at all. But on future endeavors, if it ever comes to be that you don't believe that you have what it takes to finish your journey, consider these words. No matter who you are, there is always someone who cares about you. We, as members of humanity, believe in each other to accomplish what we've always wanted to. So even if you're in the darkest clouds of the lowest lows, never take your eyes off of the light ahead. You can power through until you've made it out of the storm. And if you can't, there will always be someone to help. On a lighter note, most of us have also seen plenty of sunny days on our flight. We have looked out of the windows of our pilot cabin to find breathtaking scenery. Likewise, we all have happy, or at least mildly amusing, memories of high school, whether it be a nail-biter of a basketball game, a band trip to Canada, or even the chemical spill that happened our freshman year. Or when the wood shop caught on fire. Or when the smoke machine set the smoke alarm off 2 years in a row during the musical. Or when a certain member of this class burned his hand in chemistry last year. Or, yeah, you get the picture. On our journey, you're also guided by the air traffic control, your teachers. So I'd like to show some appreciation for our staff. For Ms. Robbins, oh, I'm sorry, I mean Goddess Divine Robbins. For Ms. Fuller, for making learning about history fun, even if it means stealing and eating your Cheez-Its in the middle of class. Sophomores, consider yourself warned. For Mr. Rudd, for making sure that none of the seniors have cranial rectal inversion by the end of the year. For Mrs. Kelly Weaver, for teaching us physical science, biology, chemistry, animal science, and forensics throughout the year. She basically watched us grow up. And now it's time for us to be set free. Kind of like one of her snakes that got free last week. Don't worry, they found the snake. It was hanging halfway through the door in the dark supply closet. It wasn't terrifying at all. And for Ms. Harkins, for giving me the honor and the privilege of having my test used as answer keys. She insisted that I say my signature catchphrases, "All shut up," and "I'm stupid," in the middle of my valedictorian speech. So here it goes. I'm stupid, all shut up. Is it good? Are we all good? Okay, so I could go on and on about every one of our teachers and our families who have metaphorically walked a mile for us, but I don't want to put you all to sleep. This isn't Socratic seminar. It's okay, it's okay. It's okay, Ms. Robbins, let me make that joke. So, we're leaving the airport with diplomas in our hands and memories in our minds. What now? Well, for us, the Sultan High School class of 2017, our new journeys have just begun. As Abraham Lincoln once said, whatever you are, be a good one. Now that this flight is almost over, it doesn't matter where you want your next destination to be, as long as you're happy there. You could be a nurse and help save lives. You could be a dentist and help save teeth. If you really miss Sultan High School, you could become a math or science teacher, as long as you don't replace Ms. Kelly or Ms. Lynch. I would actually cry. And I know many people here who would as well. Isn't that right, Shyla? You could even become a hazmat or a firefighter. As in this case, you would probably have to return to good old Sultan High School. Well, wherever you're going, work hard, wear sunscreen, and if you want to be the president, drink lots of coffee. What I'm trying to say is, no matter what you want to accomplish in life, give it your all. On the list of departing flights, failure is no option for a destination. It may sound cliche, but you can do anything if you believe in yourself. If anyone tells you you can't, well, that's an alternative fact. Give 110%, no matter where you're going. With that said, congratulations and bon voyage.
Thank you, Marissa. Our salutatorian has not only achieved high levels while attending classes at Sultan High School during her first 2 years, but continued those successes as a Running Start student at Everett Community College and will be graduating with an associate's degree. Please honor our salutatorian, Kelly Wittenberg. In 1917, Sultan High School had 4 graduates, 2 boys, 2 girls. Their high school and beyond plans included 2 becoming office clerks, 1 went to work at the fish hatchery, and 1 started a family. Symbolically, with the mounting of our Turkman Busting Out mural, we have 117 students busting out and ready to make an impact across the nation and in their own community. Up next, we have a performance from our Sultan High School choir classes with the varsity choir, led by music director Mrs. Jill Sumter. They will perform For Good and Flying Like an Eagle.
mountain, fly. I'm flying, 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 fly. I'm flying so high, yeah, fly.
Like many of you, I typically look forward to the speech given by our staff speaker. But for some reason, right now, I don't feel ready. Please give me a moment so I can get it. I'm good now. Please welcome our staff speaker, voted by the class of 2017, Miss Andrea Fuller.
All right, I'm going to set the record straight here before I get into my speech, because although she is the valedictorian, she's a lying liar. They were Cheetos. I don't even like Cheez-Its. I also don't want the people who are at the senior tee to be afraid that this speech is going to be too long, because I'm going to need to stop and cry. Because as the students will tell you, I don't have a heart and I don't cry. So that won't be the reason this speech is too long. The speech is too long because I wrote a really long speech, so. We meet again, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the paradise that is Sultan High School for tonight's graduation ceremonies. It is again my honor to have been selected as the faculty speaker by the class of 2017. My first introduction to these seniors was when they were in middle school and I was coaching 7th grade boys basketball, otherwise known as herding cats. The felines in question that year, if my memory doesn't fail me, and it probably will, so I'll apologize in advance for forgetting anyone. Those felines were Ouida, Carson, Noah, Andy, Harley, Tolan, Trenton, Keegan, the Tanners, Sentman and Belcher, Dale Simmons, and Morgan Yates. I need you to think about that for a second. Morgan Yates and Tanner Belcher as basketball players. Ouida was much squirrelier back then, and I think did about 125 push-ups every day at practice as mental conditioning. Tolan hadn't quite caught up to his growing body and couldn't manage to run 5-cut without tripping over the free throw line on his way to the basket. Seriously, it was like the kid was practicing in Heelys. Noah Dimsha had 2 nicknames. Big Smooth, because as old school Seattle Supersonics fans will remember, he liked to stand out and shoot threes like Sam Perkins. We also called him the Black Hole, because man, whenever the ball got passed into him, it was never coming back out. As many of you know, Andy Sam is a terrific athlete. He just wasn't a terrific basketball player. Andy was faster than any guy on the court and could practically jump out of the gym. But he only had about 3 made baskets in him per day. I'm not kidding. Sometimes he shot the ball backwards on a lay-in. If he wasted 1 or 2 of those makes in the warm-ups, we knew it might be a long afternoon. It wasn't all laugh-out-loud entertainment in the middle school gym. Some of it was an indication of things to come. Oh my God, there's a spider. Hold on. Anyway, it was an indication of things to come, like how Keegan taught us about overcoming challenges despite what the world throws in front of you. Riley was the only one of the original group to be a senior basketball playing Turk. He was joined later by a transfer student, and we got kind of excited about the idea of transfer students around here, especially ones from Africa. Because maybe his best feature would be he'd be 6'6", and Coach Tritchler could finally have a player on his team taller than he was. Alas, that was not to be. Instead, we got the 5'8" kid whose best feature was his hair. A year later, I coached the 8th grade girls, the likes of Emily, Bailey, Ramsey, Grace Lynn and Grace Lowe, Clokey, and yes, I know that's not how you pronounce it, Kayla, Bethany, Aranza, Tiana, Kira, and Renee. I don't remember such super funny things about this team because, frankly, they had superior motor function and coordination as compared to the boys. Although the Bailey shorts thing was funny then, and it's still funny now, especially after the Pass the Torch assembly yesterday. What I do remember about these kids is that although most of them were not blessed with otherworldly basketball skills, they were willing to work. As a coach, of course, you'd love to have all the superstars and just win all of the time. But beyond that, and as an educator, what I want is students and athletes who have otherworldly work ethic. It may not lead to state championships or Division I scholarships in high school, but I believe it leads to much more success later in life. The kids who have always been the best and therefore didn't have to work hard don't know how to when the first real challenges they face are after high school. It's a learning curve most of our seniors have already grasped. I would meet the rest of them in one way or another over the next 4 years. It might have been fall of their freshman year right here on this field, watching a soccer or JV football game, a track meet, or the Space Adventures field show from the marching band. Some I met because of the drama, the regular high school kind, and the musical kind, in Oklahoma, Greece, The Wizard of Oz, and Cinderella these past 4 Februaries. Between the classroom and all of their various student activities, I think I've had some sort of interaction with virtually all of these graduates. And it's been very rewarding to watch them grow and achieve and struggle and overcome during their time here. For those I missed, I guess you got your own special reward by having Mr. Rudd 2 years in a row for history class. It is also rewarding to know that these seniors wanted to hear from me one final time. But I'll be honest, it's also a bit of pressure, since in some ways it gets harder to think of new things to say. Usually as spring approaches, I'll get an idea or two in my head to build a speech around just in case I'm chosen. This year, no such idea or two found my head. So a few weeks ago, I decided to really focus and just sit and write, old school style. After staring at my computer screen for a good 15 minutes or so without typing anything, I thought maybe what I needed for motivation was a snack. And by snack, I mean candy. So I had one of my faves, some Swedish fish. And it turns out that although the Swedes might be good at the furniture and the ski jumping, they are not great at speech writing. After another 30 minutes or so of non-productivity, I thought maybe a Criminal Minds mini marathon on TV would inspire me. 4 hours later, I still didn't have anything written, which is good, because there is no appropriate graduation speech theme that's coming from an episode of Criminal Minds. Applying one of the lessons I try to teach my students to my own efforts, I reached out to some friends to ask for help. I quickly dismissed the suggestions for themes related to natural disasters, religion, peace efforts in the Middle East, the success of the Seahawks offensive line, making my speech one long poem that rhymed, and presidential tweets. I also nixed the idea of just repeating last year's speech, although I did think really hard about repeating one from like 2008 or 2009. One person suggested using candy bar names as a theme, and as anyone who has met me knows, this immediately piqued my interest, since it's possible I might have a bit of a candy problem. And by problem, I mean I really like pretty much anything that contains sugar or high fructose corn syrup as its main ingredient. I don't know whether this person was kidding or not, but I was sold, so here we go. This particular candy bar isn't available anymore, but I swear that bar none, you are my favorite class graduating this year. I like you so much that if Big Turk candy bars were available in the United States, I would have gotten each of you one as a graduation present. But they're not, and ordering them from Canada was expensive and stretched the limits of my budget, and therefore the limits of how much I like you. But if I had $100,000 in my pocket, I totally would have bought them for you. When I used to coach soccer, my players would take bites off a Score candy bar before games for luck. They did this in the years we made it to state, and they did it in the years we didn't win very many games. So I'm not sure of its overall effectiveness, but it did establish a good mindset before games. Cliches like mind over matter or believe and achieve may make you want to roll your eyes, but your attitude, your mindset, matters. It's important to be a person who sees possibilities, a person who assumes the best about other people until proven otherwise, and a person who doesn't assume the worst case scenario is the only scenario. In other words, be a person better than me. Because I know it will shock all of you, but I'm not the person who pukes positivity every time I open my mouth. But I'm going to keep working on it, even in my advanced state of age. And if you start on it now, or continue it if you are that sunshiny person already, imagine how much better at it you'll be by the time you're my age. If you can keep a positive mindset, it will help later, because life isn't always just rainbows and unicorns. Sometimes it's a rocky road. Sometimes life hands you some whopper-sized problems. You don't get the job you want, or you get fired from the one you have. Sometimes the car breaks down and you don't got no money for that. Sometimes the rent goes up and you spent the money you didn't already have to fix the car. Sometimes people get sick. Sometimes people turn out to be terrible people, and friendships, relationships, and marriages don't last. Sometimes you're going to be a butterfinger and drop the irreplaceable antique vase, or, the baby. And all of that can add up to you feeling that the poker game of life just hasn't dealt you a very good hand. And you know what? You'll need to persevere anyway. Lying down in a fetal position and crying is not a solution to any problem past the age of 3. So when faced with a crisis, take 5, if you need to, in order to have your pity party, and then buck up and start figuring out how best you're going to deal with it. Identify who you might need to help you, what resources you don't have that you might want, and what resources you already have that you can use to get started. If your problem is money related, those frankly are harder to fix. It's tough to have to wait until the next payday, knowing most of that money is already spent. Financial problems are the worst unless you have a sugar daddy. If you can get yourself one of those, I recommend it. Speaking of fixing things, let's not take this do-it-yourself trend too far. Despite what you might think, there isn't a YouTube video to fix everything. And if the only way you can describe the thing that's broken is the term whatchamacallit, you should for sure hire someone else to fix it. Believe me, it will save you money in the long run. I think maybe life turns out a little bit like Hershey's candy. I mean, there's the classic plain chocolate bar, cookies and cream, multiple flavors of Kisses, Hershey's with almonds, Mr. Good Bar, and Crackle. Same chocolate, different versions. And like Hershey's, there will be different versions of you in your future. You already are and may continue to be a student, a child, a sibling, a friend, a coworker, an athlete, a musician, or nerds. You may eventually be a parent, a spouse, a boss, an employee, or literally thousands of other options. Just make sure that your base ingredient, like the chocolate in Hershey's, is grounded in and built on your character and the values that you cherish. You can't go wrong if each version of you starts with something good. Lastly, I'll introduce what claims not to be a candy bar, although let's be honest, it mostly is. But it has maybe the most important message of all: be kind. Try in all of your interactions with others to be kind. You already know that people don't always agree, but the change of the modern world is the forums we have for disagreement and the vitriol that anonymity allows. It's a lot easier to be super nasty with a keyboard and a username on a comment thread than it is to be in a face-to-face conversation. So we need your generation to work to change our current cultural climate related to this trend. Whether the source of that disagreement is political or religious, occupational or racial, ethnic or gender-based, or whatever, just be kind. Be kind in your language and your actions. Be kind in the workplace and at home. Be kind to your elders and the littles in your life. Be kind even if the other person is from South Whidbey or Granite Falls, Kings or Cedar Crest, Archbishop Murphy or Cedar Park Christian. And believe you me, I know that could be hard. And be kind to and for yourself. You deserve nothing less. Tonight we know where you are, because you're right here, and what you've accomplished. The fun after tonight is seeing where you'll go and what great things await you. Maybe you'll be on that first trip to Mars, or the Milky Way, or simply to tour the Twix factory and find out whether right or left Twix is really superior. Either way, what was not superior was another of my discarded ideas to do a speech entirely out of words that end in shun. So for my conclusion, I'd like to give that a try. So let me repeat. Maybe you'll be on that first trip to Mars, or the Milky Way, or simply tour the Twix factory and discover whether right or left Twix is really superior. Whatever your destination, your future occupation, or your lifelong ambition is, tonight's celebration of your education should give you a great deal of satisfaction. This graduation is validation of your efforts and makes you a permanent member of the Alumni Association of Turk Nation. On behalf of the faculty at Sultan High School, we offer our congratulations again to each of you. And as Conan would say, Pox Ex, homie.
Sultan High School provides great opportunities for our students with programs like Running Start and College in the High School. Seniors, please raise your hand if you've earned college credit while attending Sultan High School. The class of 2017 has 6 students that are not only earning their high school diploma, but are earning their associate's degree tonight, which is 3 times more than last year. Please congratulate the special accomplishments of McCrae Black, Tolan Blasco, Kira Estes, Haley Jones, Dale Simmons, and Kelly Wittenberg. Please stand. Congratulations and thank you. For the presentation of the class of 2017, I would like to introduce our principal, Tammy Nesting, and the acceptance of the class will be Sultan School Board Chairperson, Russ Sumter.
Class of 2017, if I could have you all rise, please. Sultan Board of Directors and Superintendent Chaplik, it is an honor and a privilege to present to you the Sultan High School class of 2017. As principal of Sultan High School, I certify that each student that walks across this stage has met all of the requirements for graduation as set forth by the Sultan School District and the state of Washington.
As Sultan School Board Chair, it is my extreme honor and privilege to accept the Sultan High School class of 2017.
You may sit. The class of 2017 has asked Miss Marissa Lynch, math and avid teacher and member of the Sultan High School class of 2007, to read their names as they walk across stage to receive their diploma covers. While this is done, we know that this is a special occasion for each graduate and their family. Please be respectful for all the graduates and make sure the celebrations for one student allow for the same opportunities for the next. Thank you.
To the class of 2017, I want to let you know before you graduate one more time how much I love you, and I'm so proud of you guys. All right. You ready? Shane Robert Merwin. Jeffrey Dwight Williams II. Marissa K. Lammers. Miranda Susan Kretschmer. Bethany Rose Kirkpatrick. Kayla Colleen Downs. Allie Georgiana Kaiser. Stephanie Nicole Wright. Tristan Stewart Schlappman. Rusher Grayson Otis. Caitlin Ann Cash. Sarah Brianne King. Jennifer Lynn Ramsey. Jacob Paul Posey. Chloe Keenan. Kyle Leonard. Dale Joseph Simmons. Mason Arnold. Mauricio Sanchez. Lupita Benavides. James Harley Dodd. Bailey Elizabeth Bierbrower. Grace Catherine Lowe. Alexis Guy Griggs. Courtney Lynn Piers. Caitlin Rose Simon. Trenton Maddox. Hannah Million Mojica. Gordon Gravel. Austin Yoakum. Tolan Blasco. Noah Scott Fleming. Emily Elizabeth Bazell. Tiana Joy Day. Rocio Viridiana Alonso Cervantes. Aranza Chavez Gonzalez. Haley Jones. Tessa Borey. Sam Thomas. Keegan Franklin. Byron Aikman. Gavin Charles Armstrong. James William Fortin. Morgan Ray Yates. Tanner Sentman. Zachary Allen Zorns. Joshua Tonkow Moorhead. Carlos Manuel Gonzalez. Jacob David Weaver. Anthony James Hall. Renee Bliley. Jasmine Kiefover. Gracelyn Autumn Boyd. Norma Haley Breedlove. Omar Valera Gonzalez Jr. Roque Solario. Chase Galen Leonard. Tanner Belcher. Deanna Leslie Wesson. Colby J. Benjamin. Jewel Gooden. Kelly Faye Holman. Rakenna Nicole Sandy. Raven Michaela Swarthout. Chelsea Renee Carnell. Fatima Jasmine Vallejo. Selena New Lore. Cody James Radford. Mackenzie Cloak. Madeline K. Spar. Kira Estes. Kelly Sue Wittenberg. Yesenia Judith Limon. Bailey Graham Tudor. Paige Elizabeth Jefferson. Austin Groshon. Shy May Jones. Angela Strobel. Shyla Jean Fletcher. Maya Velick. Carla Martinez Avalos. Jose Vasquez Correa. Dylan Harvey James. Dylan Kidd. Estelle Louise Sather. Tristan Jack Hughes. Julia Nicole Baird. McCrae Ian Black. Ford Hardy. Kyle Westover. Carly Helena Engelbrick. Vanessa Isadora Rodriguez Rowley. Taylor Glenn Adolphson. Matthew Young. Alexia Grace Adams. Emily Ann Beach. Justin Thomas Heffernan. Cody Warren Miller. Enrique Jose Nambo. Virginia Susana Sanchez Padilla. Alexander Lee McAllister. Sierra Christine Huff. Moises Cerna. Juan Cerna Sanchez. Noah Riley Dimsha. Jacob Anthony Polly. Riley John Weeda. Carson William Smith. Michael Donovan Anderson. Ramsey Thompson. Jordan Matthew Sears. Esteban Rojas. Renelle Marie Cedillo Addington. Guinevere Nigel. Cody Swindle. Foster Allen Frame. Andy Sambathany Sam.
Members of the audience, if you are a graduate from Sultan High School, please stand or raise your hand. It's an example of Tanner Belcher's leadership right there. We now have 117 young men and women who are ready to join you as Sultan alum. I would like to invite Shane Merwin back to the stage for his last duty as senior class president.
Students, move the tassel from the... Rise up, students. And now, move the tassel from the right to the left. And join me out on the track, but only when I say to do so. Class of 2017, throw the caps in 3, 2, 1. Make it rain!
Please join us in the Commons for a small reception and where our graduates can get their diplomas.